Thanks, John. Looks like things are shaping up for them to have another great season. In other news, Jimmy cracked corn, and I don't care. James Tinningham of Jimmy and Associates just opened up apologies. Breaking news happening right now. We have Molly Shanahan on the scene right now. Molly, what's going on?
That's right, Danny. There's a brand new service taking the recording and audio industry by storm. And I'm standing outside right now because I'm trying to get access to all of your favorite analog gear. Danny?
How is it possible she still works here? There's no
Danny there.
She still works here.
You know it. You know she's bad.
What are you doing? Skip! It's my Shannon Sharp impression. Skip! Now let me tell you something, Skip.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, ZndBorn, Berkeley graduated, sounds invalidated. I realize I haven't done one of these in a long time, but this is an extra degree alert! Woo! Yeah, feels right. You don't need to own outboard gear. To scratch your itch for outboard gear, all you need is one plug-in and one service. So here's what you do. Stop this video right now. If you don't watch another 10 seconds of this video, stop this video right now. Go to the website below. I'll leave a link in the description and download this plugin right now for 2 reasons. Immediate access to legendary outboard gear, saturation, harmonics, vibe, nuance, clarity, depth, and access these characteristics and put it on your song right now. That's what you should do immediately. That's the extra degree. Now, today we are looking at Access Analog, and you may have heard of this service already. I'm just doing my part to spread the word. So you may have heard the debate and the argument about mixing in the box versus mixing on hardware. So this kind of bridges the gap between using plugins and outboard gear. So Access Analog is a service that transmits your audio from your DAW or from your audio files. It streams your audio across the world using science. It's me taking the glasses off. To actual outboard gear, processes your audio with this legendary outboard gear and sends it back in real time to you and your DAW in your project. So we're gonna test that out today. I'm gonna show you the interface, I'm gonna show you the service so that you immediately take full advantage of it, because it's the most fun I've had experimenting with things that I just can't even begin to afford. But I can use them in my mixes and I can use them in my productions, and this service is indispensable for that reason. Let's get to the desk. Let's check it out. Access Analog is a service that streams your audio to actual outboard gear. That outboard gear processes your audio and sends it back to you. You can use the processed audio in your studio session with an amazing selection of legendary gear. Head over to the website, go to downloads, and download the plugin that's compatible with your system. They have a number of pieces of gear: fusions, pull texts, SSLs, APIs, the CL1B. When you find what you're looking for, you can reserve a time slot in which to use that gear, and you select the date that you want to use it, select a time, and click reserve now. You could purchase individual credits. I recommend starting off with the intro bundle to get your feet wet, or you could take advantage of a subscription in which you have an allotment of credits for the month, access to every piece of gear, and you even have unlimited access to a particular piece of gear that changes periodically. If you have any additional questions, you can shoot them a quick message or even engage in chat. Assuming you've downloaded your Access Analog plugin, congratulations, you immediately have access to analog sound, vibe, and character. You rock star, you. Now, this is not a tutorial on the hardware. This is solely to provide you a simple, brief reference to Access Analog plugin and its core capabilities. I have the Analog Matrix plugin loaded up to my session. So after you've downloaded, installed, and created an account, the rack section, it's what studio do you want to connect to? So they have the Access Analog collection of gear and the Puma Studio collection of gear. Click connect, your buffer settings, and your transmit format settings. So your buffer settings dictate the latency, how well the audio streams there and back. So you want to play around with the buffer settings. I recommend starting from the very bottom and work your way up. So depending on the buffer settings and your transmit format settings determine how your audio is being processed in real time. So if you have a strong computer with a strong internet connection, you could probably get away with using lossless. If your computer is struggling with processing all the audio information, again, start from the bottom, work your way up. So you want to play with these 2 settings to get a nice, even, smooth send and return of your audio signal. The buffer history gives you a little snapshot of how well your computer's processing all of the information. You see a darker shade and a lighter shade, and if they're playing nicely at 50%, you have a nice strong connection. In your preferences, you can play a sound when the equipment comes available. They have a handy watch feature on the right hand side. For instance, I have a Fusion on watch and I have the Dakin Comp on watch, and they're both unavailable right now, but they'll play a sound when it's available for me. Automatically process audio after it's uploaded offline, we'll cover that. Auto remove equip when idle, because as it sits in your rack, it costs your money or your credits. You can use a custom IP server, and you can enable login. And your clear function resets the buffer history. So again, on the right-hand side, a really handy watch feature that they recently added was that you can use whatever module that's available in real time without having to reserve it. So a nice feature is to keep an eye on the gear that you most likely reach for. Now, what's nice about Access Analog's plugin is that you can use any of the gear as you would a plugin. Or remove equipment, you can right-click, and it'll give you a list of everything that they have available and its associated costs. And when you select any piece of gear to use in your session, there's a 45-second window in which you can preview that plugin and how it sounds on your signal. And as that 45-second counts down, it'll count all the way down to 0, and then you can see how much you're spending per second, per every 3 or 4 or 5 seconds. So you only utilize the credits as you use the gear. So for instance, my preview is now up and the timer has begun, and now it's starting to charge me for every minute that I use, for the seconds and the minutes that I use the gear. Stop that timer. If I'm done with the gear, I remove it, and now I'm not being charged for anything. Now you have a couple of additional controls once you have a piece of gear loaded up. A pre-gear input on the left-hand side. You have a mix knob in your virtual rack. You can dial into taste. So I have everything dialed in. All of my signals being processed into the Manley. I process it through the hardware. It comes back to me. I like the way it sounds. Now the offline processor, you can actually load up, if you want, a separate audio file, and that separate audio file can be processed using the settings that you have set in the the GUI, and you can cancel it at any time. And the second way that you can do it is that you can also arm the offline processor where it begins to listen to playback. It is good to go. I like the way it sounds being processed, and we played the entire mix through. I can take the processed signal, I save it to where I name it, new mix. And I send it to where I can retrieve it and pull it right back into my session. And that processed audio is now in my session, sauced up, put all the sugar and the magic on it with the outboard gear. So that's how easy it is to use. Whenever I'm satisfied, I just remove the outboard gear out of my rack, and it costs me only exactly how much I used. My hope is that you download the plugin and start playing around, because they have so many dream compressors and so many dream EQs, and you can use them exactly how you see fit. $15 for 15 credits, and you can use a Neve Portico for an entire hour. Go crazy, go nuts, go insane. If this is not an extra degree, I don't know what is. Don't you ever say I didn't provide any value on this channel. That'll make you a liar. Liar. So yes, that's Access Analog, and I want to thank them for giving me a few credits just to play around a little further and giving me a little more time so I can show you guys this amazing service. See for yourself what all the fuss is about in the convenience of your own home and the convenience of your own studio, whatever studio setup you have. No, you don't even have to process anything. You don't have to turn up any knobs or anything. Let it run through the wiring and the transformers and get it sent back to your DAW so you can get that analog vibe. If you use it just for that, you're already winning. That's why I started my channel. Just do it for that reason. Thank you guys again for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, Access Analog, for allowing me to share this with my viewers. If you like this kind of stuff, leave a comment below, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace. I want to look